Ever wonder why you can sleep for 8 hours and still wake up exhausted, while someone else gets 6 hours and bounces out of bed full of energy? Here's something that'll blow your mind. If you stay awake for 19 hours straight, your brain functions at the same level as someone who's legally drunk. And get this, studies show that drowsy driving causes more accidents than drunk driving. What if I told you that cutting your sleep from 8 hours to 6 doesn't just mean losing 2 hours? You're actually losing 70% of your REM sleep. Would that make you put down your phone and go to bed right now? Today we're diving deep into Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, a neuroscience professor at UC Berkeley and one of the world's leading sleep researchers. After decades of research, he's uncovered a shocking truth. Sleep isn't just your body hitting pause, it's more like plugging yourself in to recharge. And that's the scary part. Our generation is running the largest sleep deprivation experiment in human history. And we're paying for it with our health, our intelligence, and even our lives. This book will completely change how you think about sleep and show you why it's the single most important thing you can do for your health, period. What actually happens when you sleep? So what exactly is sleep? Most people think your brain just shuts off, but that couldn't be further from the truth. When you close your eyes and drift off, your brain launches into this beautifully orchestrated symphony. And this symphony has several movements, each with its own unique rhythm and purpose. The first movement is light sleep, that's right, when you first fall asleep, lasting about 10 minutes. You're super easy to wake up at this point. Your brain is basically transitioning from the waking world into the sleep realm. Think of it like walking into a movie theater. Your eyes are still adjusting to the darkness. Then comes the second movement. Your body starts to relax, your temperature drops, your heart rate slows down, and your breathing becomes steady. This is when your brain produces something called sleep spindles. Sounds fancy, right? Think of them as security guards for your brain. They stand at the door and keep outside noises from waking you up. Some people naturally have more sleep spindles so they could sleep through a thunderstorm. Others have fewer so they wake up at the slightest sound. Next, you enter the third and fourth movements, deep sleep. This is the most crucial part of the whole symphony. Your brain waves become super slow, rising and falling like ocean waves. What's your body doing during this stage? Repairing damaged tissue, clearing out metabolic waste, releasing growth hormones, and boosting your immune system. If your body is a car, deep sleep is when you drive it into the shop for a major tune-up. If this stage gets interrupted or cut short, you'll wake up feeling heavy, sluggish, and foggy, like trying to drive a car that never got serviced. The most fascinating part is the fifth movement. REM sleep, or rapid eye movement sleep. That's when you dream. Your eyeballs are darting around under your eyelids, and your brain is actually more active than when you're awake. Here's the wild part. Your body becomes temporarily paralyzed, except for your diaphragm so you can keep breathing. Why the paralysis? Because you're dreaming. If your body wasn't paralyzed, you might act out your dreams, and that could get dangerous. This stage is crucial for emotional regulation and creativity. So many groundbreaking discoveries happened in dreams. Mendeleev's periodic table, Kekulé's benzene ring structure, they literally dreamed these up. These 5 movements make up one complete sleep cycle, which lasts about 90 minutes. You go through 4 to 5 of these cycles every night. But here's the key. The first half of the night is mostly deep sleep, and the second half is mostly REM sleep. So if you stay up until 2 a.m. and sleep until 10 a.m., you're still losing tons of deep sleep. If you wake up at 5 a.m., you're missing out on tons of REM sleep. That's why, whether you're a night owl or an early bird, you need a solid 7 to 9 hours of complete sleep. What controls our sleep? So what's controlling all this? 2 main systems. First is your circadian rhythm, your internal body clock. This isn't some metaphor. It's an actual cluster of cells in your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It's like a conductor orchestrating rhythms throughout your entire body. In the morning, it wakes you up. At night, it makes you sleepy. Here's what's interesting. Everyone's body clock is a little different. Some people are naturally early birds. They wake up at 5 a.m. naturally and get sleepy by 9 p.m. Others are night owls. They're super alert at night and struggle to get up in the morning. This isn't about being lazy. It's genetic. Society tends to favor early birds, thinking people who wake up early are hardworking while late risers are lazy. That's actually just bias. The second system is sleep pressure, controlled by a chemical called adenosine. For every second you're awake, adenosine builds up in your brain like sand in an hourglass. The more adenosine, the sleepier you feel. When you sleep, Your brain clears out the adenosine and you start fresh the next day. But there's a troublemaker we all know well: caffeine. Caffeine doesn't make adenosine disappear, it just blocks the receptors that detect it, so you don't feel tired. It's like pulling the batteries out of a smoke alarm. The fire hazard is still there. The alarm just isn't going off. Even worse, caffeine stays in your system for a long time. Its half-life is 5 to 7 hours. That means if you drink coffee at 3 p.m., half of it is still in your body at 10 p.m. The consequences of sleep deprivation. Now let's talk about what happens when you don't get enough sleep. Walker says in his book that sleep deprivation has zero benefits. It attacks every single system in your body. Let's start with your brain. Sleep deprivation first hits your attention and reaction time. After being awake for 19 hours, your cognitive ability is equivalent to being legally drunk. You might think you're fine, but research shows that sleep-deprived people can't accurately judge their own condition. Just like drunk people always think they're sober. Even scarier are microsleeps, when your brain falls asleep for 1 or 2 seconds without you knowing. If you have a microsleep while driving, 1 or 2 seconds is enough to send you off the road. 6,000 people die from drowsy driving in the US every year, more than drunk and drug driving combined. And there's no trick to fight drowsy driving. Rolling down the window, blasting music, none of it works. The only solution is to pull over and sleep. Sleep deprivation also makes your emotions go haywire. Your amygdala, your brain's emotional center, becomes hyperactive, while your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for rational thinking, gets suppressed. The result? You become irritable, impulsive, and make decisions you regret. Research shows sleep-deprived people are more likely to be violent, more prone to addiction, and more likely to attempt suicide. This isn't a character flaw. It's brain dysfunction. Memory takes a serious hit too. Sleep affects memory in 3 ways. First, sleep before learning prepares your brain like clearing the memory card in your camera to take new photos. Second, sleep after learning helps consolidate memories, converting short-term memories into long-term ones. Third, sleep helps organize memories, connecting different pieces of information to generate new ideas. Without sleep, all 3 functions suffer. Students pulling all-nighters are actually wasting their time. Your brain can't store what you cram while sleep-deprived. Now let's talk about physical health. Sleep deprivation makes you gain weight, I'm not kidding. When you don't sleep enough, your hunger hormones increase while your satiety hormones decrease. You'll crave high-calorie junk food like crazy. Plus, your body enters survival mode, slowing down your metabolism and storing more fat. Research shows people who sleep less than 6 hours a night have a 30% higher risk of obesity. Your cardiovascular system suffers too. Sleep deprivation raises your blood pressure, increases your heart rate, and inflames your blood vessels. Sleep less than 6 hours a night, and your risk of heart attack triples. Your stroke risk doubles. Here's a powerful piece of evidence. Every year when daylight saving time kicks in, heart attacks spike by 24% on the day we lose 1 hour of sleep. In the fall, when we gain an hour, heart attacks drop by 21%. Just 1 hour makes that much difference. Your immune system takes the biggest hit. Sleep deprivation reduces your natural killer cell activity by 70%. These cells are your body's special forces, designed to eliminate cancer cells and viruses. Sleep less than 4 hours, and you're 3 times more likely to catch a cold than if you slept 8 hours. The World Health Organization has classified night shift work as a probable carcinogen because chronic sleep deprivation significantly increases cancer risk. The most shocking part is what happens at the genetic level. Just 1 week of sleeping only 6 hours a night changes the activity of 711 genes. Genes that promote inflammation, stress, and cardiovascular disease get activated. Genes that promote immune function and metabolism get suppressed. You're literally changing your genes, and not in a good way. How to optimize your sleep. So what can we do about this? Walker offers a complete sleep optimization plan. First, stick to a schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Your body clock loves consistency. If you usually sleep at 11 p.m. but stay up until 2 a.m. on weekends, Monday morning you'll feel like you have jet lag. This is called social jet lag, and tons of people experience it every week. Temperature matters too. The ideal sleep temperature is around 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius. You need to lower your core body temperature to fall asleep, so taking a hot bath before bed actually helps. When you get out of the hot water, your temperature drops, and your body gets the signal to sleep. If you wake up hot in the middle of the night, try sticking one foot out from under the covers. Your feet are your body's radiators and can help you cool down quickly. Light management is crucial. Get bright light in the morning, preferably sunlight. This sets your body clock and tells your body it's daytime. At night, avoid blue light, especially 2 hours before bed. Blue light from phones, computers, and TVs suppresses melatonin production. Melatonin isn't a sleeping pill, it's a signaling hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. If you absolutely must use devices, at least turn on night mode or wear blue light glasses. Diet matters too. Don't eat a big meal within 3 hours of bedtime. Digestion interferes with sleep. Don't drink too much water before bed or you'll wake up to pee. Stop consuming caffeine after 2 p.m. Remember, it has a long half-life. Alcohol is a trap. It makes you fall asleep quickly but destroys your sleep architecture, especially REM sleep. Passing out from alcohol isn't sleep, it's sedation. The brain activity is completely different. Exercise helps sleep, but don't work out vigorously within 3 hours of bedtime. Exercise raises your body temperature and alertness, and it takes time to come down. It's best to exercise in the morning or afternoon. That way you help your sleep and improve your daytime energy. If you're lying in bed for more than 20 minutes and can't fall asleep, get up and do something quiet. Read a book, listen to music, but don't look at screens. Only use your bed for sleep and sex. Don't work, eat, or watch TV in bed. You want to train your brain. Bed equals sleep. About sleeping pills, Walker is clear. Avoid them if you can. Sleeping pills don't produce natural sleep, they're just sedatives. They're also addictive, disrupt sleep architecture, and increase mortality risk. If you really need help, cognitive behavioral therapy is more effective than medication and has no side effects. Napping has its own rules. If you're getting enough sleep at night, a 20-minute power nap can boost your afternoon productivity. But if you're not sleeping enough at night, napping releases sleep pressure and makes it harder to fall asleep at night, creating a vicious cycle. Also, don't nap after 3 p.m. or it'll interfere with nighttime sleep. The importance of dreams. Walker specifically talks about the importance of dreams. Dreaming isn't your brain randomly wandering, it's processing emotions, consolidating memories, and sparking creativity. During REM sleep, your brain does 3 things. First, it processes emotional experiences from the day, stripping painful memories of their emotional charge and converting them into ordinary memories. That's why people say time heals all wounds. It's actually sleep doing the healing. Second, it connects unrelated information to generate creative ideas. Many scientific discoveries and artistic inspirations came from dreams. Third, it simulates social scenarios, improving your ability to read others' expressions and emotions. Sleep-deprived people have a harder time recognizing others' emotions and tend to interpret neutral expressions as hostile, leading to social problems. Teenagers especially need plenty of REM sleep because their brains are still developing and need lots of emotional processing and social learning. Unfortunately, teenagers' body clocks naturally run late, but schools insist on early start times. It's a huge contradiction. Speaking of children's sleep, this is a big issue. Newborns need 14 to 17 hours, preschoolers need 10 to 13 hours, and teenagers need 8 to 10 hours. But the reality is most kids don't get enough sleep. Sleep-deprived kids have trouble concentrating, emotional instability, poor academic performance, and are prone to obesity. Even worse, childhood sleep deprivation affects brain development and causes permanent damage. There's a fascinating study where they delayed school start times by 1 hour. Student grades improved significantly, equivalent to 3 extra months of schooling. Car accident rates dropped by 70% because teen drivers weren't drowsy anymore. Depression and suicide rates went down too. Such a simple change with such dramatic results, yet most schools still insist on early start times. Elderly sleep deserves attention too. Many people think you need less sleep as you age. That's a myth. Older adults need as much sleep as younger people. They just have a harder time getting it. Deep sleep decreases, they wake easily, and sleep efficiency drops. This isn't normal aging, it's a problem that needs intervention. Sleep deprivation accelerates cognitive decline and increases Alzheimer's risk. The connection between Alzheimer's and sleep is particularly close. During deep sleep, the brain clears out a substance called beta amyloid, which is a hallmark of Alzheimer's. Without enough sleep, this protein accumulates and damages the brain. It's a vicious cycle. Too amyloid buildup disrupts sleep. Worse sleep leads to more buildup. Protecting your sleep protects your brain. A cultural problem. Walker also addresses societal issues. We live in a culture that glorifies sleeping less, treating sleep as laziness and pulling all-nighters as dedication. Your boss praises you for working late into the night. Nobody praises you for sleeping 8 hours. This culture is killing us. Sleep deprivation costs hundreds of billions of dollars annually in healthcare costs, lost productivity, and traffic accidents. If sleep were a new drug, it would be the best-selling drug in human history because it prevents and treats so many diseases. Do successful people really sleep only 4 or 5 hours? Most are lying. Research shows that less than 1% of people can function normally on insufficient sleep. It's a genetic mutation, not something you can train. Those CEOs claiming to sleep only 4 hours? They're either lying, taking naps, or about to crash. Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos both admit they need 7 to 8 hours. LeBron James sleeps 12 hours a day and says sleep is the best recovery method. Finally, Walker reminds us, sleep isn't the opposite of life. Sleep is part of life, and it's the most important part. You spend a third of your life sleeping, and that third determines the quality of the other 2/3. Sleep well, and you'll live well, love well, and work well. Sleep isn't wasted time. It's the best investment of your time. Every quality night of sleep is a promise of a better tomorrow. Thanks for watching. See you in the next book review.